Welcome to the Rewriting Naruto series part 38. This is a series of videos where I rewrite the Naruto series, making changes to improve the story for my personal taste. The like goal for this video is going to be 3,000 likes within the first 24 hours, and the last one we almost reached it was within like an hour that we didn't get to 3,000, so please like the video so this time we can reach the like goal. Let's get going. Karin sprinted through the rain. She was desperate. So many enemies had cornered Sasuke underground. She had been using Akamaru's form, but once she sensed Sasuke's chakra flaring underneath, along 6 other chakra signatures, she knew Sasuke was in trouble. So she dispelled the transformation jutsu and was trying to do something to help. Even though Hokage was there fighting Sasuke, and his plan to launch fire into the sky wouldn't work underground, meaning that Jugo and Suigetsu would never go and help him. So Karin had to warn them about the situation. She thought about going underground and help Sasuke herself, but she alone wouldn't be a match for the Hokage and the other ninjas he was fighting against. Karin decided to run towards the mountain peak as fast as she could. As the battle progressed underground, Karin felt Sasuke using his curse mark. The dark chakra was like a blot on Karin's inner sensorial perception, and then Karin froze. Suddenly Sasuke's body became inundated with an insurmountable amount of cursed chakra, much more than Karin ever thought possible. She felt cold and afraid. That amount of power made her feel small and insignificant. But what worried her the most was that the chakra was taking over Sasuke's own chakra. His signature was disappearing. The curse mark was going to kill him. Should she just give up on getting Suigetsu and Jugo and go help Sasuke herself somehow? She felt Sasuke moving fast, coming up. He was flying towards the surface. Perhaps she could get to him. Yes, Karin could feel Sasuke flying towards the mountain peak. But Sasuke fell down from the sky. And she felt Sasuke's chakra disappearing, the curse mark becoming stronger. She had to go and help Sasuke, give him extra chakra so that he could fight back against the curse mark. But there was no time. Karin wouldn't get to Sasuke before he died. Still, she had to try everything she could. Something slashed Karin's torso, opening a diagonal wide gash from her shoulder to her hip, and she fell down, feeling as though she was ripped in two. A pool of blood began to form around her. When she looked up, she saw the dog Shinobi. His right hand was drenched in her blood, and he didn't even look back to see what happened to her. He just ran to the city down below with his dog. How did he defeat Jugo and Suigetsu? Was he more powerful than Sasuke thought? Sasuke, he was in danger. This ninja was a smell sensory type. Even in the rain, he could probably track Sasuke down this close distance, and Karin noticed he was going straight to Sasuke's location in Crystal City, while Karin herself was bleeding on the ground, feeling immense pain. Kiba saw red. He could smell Sasuke in Crystal City. He was going to rip him into pieces for what that guy almost did to Akamaru and for humiliating Kiba. When he found that girl with a strong scent of Sasuke on her, he didn't even ask questions. Kiba just killed her on his way down the mountain. The girl didn't even notice Kiba coming. She seemed in shock. She had to be one of Sasuke's allies, and the more of them Kiba took down before he could get to Sasuke, the better. No one messed with Akamaru and got away with it. They would all pay for what they did, and eventually he would go back to the cave and kill those 2 bastards that were holding him with Akamaru. Kiba got their scents memorized, but first he had to cut off the head of the snake. He had to kill Sasuke Uchiha. Lumps of curse mark flesh formed around Sasuke's body. The pain from Shino's ant only intensified, and he felt as though he would explode from the cursed chakra flooding him.
Don't ignore me, my dear Sasuke. I can take the pain away, save you from the anguish, control this powerful chakra for you.
Orochimaru's voice said, coming from within. Sasuke imagined that Orochimaru's consciousness could still exist after he reversed the living corpse reincarnation ritual, absorbing the Sanin's powers, though he didn't think it would be able to tug on him, almost as though Orochimaru was still alive inside of Sasuke.
You wish to kill Itachi? You can't do that if the curse mark kills you.
Do you think I'm a fool? If I let you out, you'll take me over. Sasuke thought back at Orochimaru.
Sometimes I forget you're no longer that confused little bird I fought in the forest of death. Yes, if you give in, your consciousness will die, but your body will remain. My body, my boy, my Sasuke.
I detest you. I will never give in.
I don't think he'll have much of a choice. Not if you want to kill Itachi, that is. You were in accordance with me taking your body before. Nothing will change. We're just doing what we're always meant to. I swear, my dear, I will kill Sasuke for you.
I take it you're not so desperate because even if I die, you will survive in that snake form of yours, huh?
Ever the astute one. I trained you well, my boy.
More lumps grew on Sasuke's face, and he vomited blood. Orochimaru was right. At this rate, the only way to keep his vengeance alive was to give in. He was going to die in less than a minute. No matter how much he tried, he couldn't retract a curse mark.
Impressive, isn't it? The amount of chakra the curse mark can draw, especially when bestowed upon an Uchiha body. No I's power is truly magnificent. You have no idea of the things I will accomplish once we are finally one, my boy.
Don't listen to him. He will obviously try to manipulate you into giving up your body. Think, Sasuke. Think how to retract the curse mark in this situation. When I got bitten and I thought of Itachi, the curse mark got more powerful. I drew in more chakra than ever before without even meaning to. It responded to my emotions, and it's always been like this. The longer I leave it activated, the more chakra it channels into my chakra network, and the more cursed chakra I get, the more difficult it becomes to control my emotions. The urge to kill intensifies. It's a snowball effect. But now, despite the pain, I'm thinking clearly. Perhaps it's because my own chakra is almost completely gone, and my psyche is all but suppressed, leaving nothing behind but the cursed chakra to be affected. Or perhaps it's because
the strongest ninjas have the clearest mind when they are about to die. You know what's the right decision, my Sasuke. Don't let your body go to waste. Give in to me.
How did I contain myself before? How did I not kill Tsunade? I hallucinated. I saw Sakura, and I remember what she did in the Forest of Death before. Yes, that time in the forest. I also contained the curse mark with Sakura's help. The curse mark also retracted. The curse mark also reacted to those emotions. They weren't hatred. And if hatred draws chakra in, the opposite of hatred should throw it out. Sasuke hadn't said the word love ever since the massacre, for only hatred could strengthen him, give him the power to fulfill his revenge. But now he had to clear his mind, think only about the good things that happened to him, but there were none. Sasuke's life had been nothing but misery. That's why the curse mark would kill him, because he couldn't draw its counter from anywhere. No, that's not true. Of course good things happened to me, you coward, pathetic, weak, spineless little brat. Stop making yourself the victim. You're not the victim. You're the solution. This is just life. Bad things happen, and good things happen to everyone. My misfortunes don't control me. I control them. Sasuke thought about his mom preparing him to go to the academy for the first time, about his father training him the shuriken jutsu, and also when he mastered the fireball jutsu, about him ignoring Naruto while sitting at the edge of that lake after the massacre, but deep down wanting to talk to him, about Sakura hugging him in the land of waves after he almost died. He thought about himself telling Naruto that he wanted to fight Naruto in the Chunin exams preliminaries, and he also remembered countless faces whose names he didn't know in this very city. The city Sasuke helped saving years ago. He remembered the people here thanking him after evacuating the city. He remembered how happy they were when Sasuke helped him to rebuild their homes. He didn't think of it at the time, but spending that time with Naruto and Sakura while helping those people, and also just doing other missions with his former team, was a period of true happiness. Sasuke decided it. Once he killed Itachi, he would return to the Leaf Village, and he would seek those moments again. The pain he felt from Shino's ant was still immense. The rain hitting him was chilling, but somehow Sasuke felt warm. The curse mark began to retreat. Sasuke's wings retracted, the lumps of meat shrunk, and his appearance returned to normal, albeit he had veins popping all over his body and was bleeding severely.
No, that's impossible. Your hatred is too strong for you to control the curse mark with that level of pain.
You never understood me, did you? That's not surprising. Someone like you could never relate to humans. Sasuke silenced Orochimaru's presence within, but he still couldn't move. The curse mark spark caused too much damage, his muscles were weak, and he lost too much blood. The pain from the ant only got worse, but Sasuke would withstand it. He just had to wait for Karin to pick him up and heal him. She should be nearby. Well, 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 if it ain't the Uchiha prodigies slushing in the mud, Kiba said. Sasuke didn't notice him getting close. He tried to stand up, but his body didn't even respond. I'll show you who's the dense one now, Kiba said, salivating as he grabbed Sasuke by the neck and hoisted him up. He raised his other arm, preparing to strike Sasuke. His claws were already drenched in blood. Would you rather I rip your throat or your heart out? Kiba asked with manic eyes. Answer my question! Sasuke chuckled. You're not gonna kill me. You don't have what it takes. Hard it is. Kiba slashed at Sasuke's chest, surprising him. He was really going for it. Sasuke underestimated him. His thought process was too slow because of the curse mark and the pain, and before Sasuke could mutter another word, Kiba's claws were already piercing his chest. Anko clutched Tsunade as they went up the atrium elevator with the stone ninjas. Going up was even slower than going down. At this point, Sasuke could have already slaughtered citizens, especially if he had allies helping him out. Hopefully Shino will be able to handle it after draining Akatsuchi's chakra. Lady Tsunade, what are your orders once we reach the surface? We have to find Sasuke and stop him. And after that, Kiba and Akamaru. Stone people, are any of you sensory types? Unfortunately, none of the three of us are. Damn it! That old geezer told me to learn that tracking jutsu, but I didn't listen to him, Kurotsuchi said. Our sensory type was captured. If Sasuke hides, it will be difficult to find him, but Shin will manage. I trust him. I also must return to the Leaf Village immediately after this issue is resolved. But you were in no condition to travel immediately, Lady Tsunade. You have to stay here and rest for a day at least. No, Anko. Something is very wrong. I wasn't supposed to be here. We have to get back to the village. Lady Hokage, I don't mean to pry into the business of the Leaf Village, but if you die during your travel, then what's the point? My grandfather's a very stubborn Kage. He's made many mistakes, especially in the last war when he decided to prolong it, even though the Adult Flash was decimating our forces. So please, don't be stubborn like him. If someone set you up to leave the village like this, then whoever did so is gonna try to do their best to keep you away. And if you return in your current condition and they ambush you, you'll be an easy prey. It was strange. That Kurotsuchi girl seemed so earnest, completely unlike her grandfather. It seemed like she really wanted to make sure Tsunade would be safe. Just agreeing with Shino's plan to capture Sasuke in a joint effort with the Leaf Village was already surprising. So far as Tsunade knew, it was only the second time the Leaf and the Stone joined forces for anything in the history of their villages. Both times when that happened, it was in this city, and both times this girl, Kurotsuchi, led the Stone team into the alliance. Why do you help an enemy village, Kurotsuchi? The girl looked at Hokage appalled. The Leaf is not my enemy. I don't care about what happened in the past between our villages. You're good people, and we're also good people. Being enemies makes no sense whatsoever. That old geezer will never forgive you guys for the last war, but deep down it's because he's ashamed of his own decisions, and he has to blame someone for his failure, so he blames you. But I don't want to be like that. I want to start healing. Those dark feelings don't ever bring anything positive to the world. My grandfather is stupid. Kurotsuchi, you shouldn't badmouth Lord Tsuchikage, Akatsuchi said. I'll do whatever I want. At the end of the day, the war was fought over influence, just like I fought against the Leaf Ninjas right here years ago because of said influence. And because we just couldn't sit and talk about our issues, thousands of ninjas died. I don't want this stupid cycle to continue. When I become Tsuchikage, I'll make sure there'll be no more waste of life. Tsunade smiled with her wrinkled face. You remind me of Naruto. Kurotsuchi's face turned red and she averted her gaze. I say the treaty was fine as it was already set. The Leaf had no intention of changing it during the diplomatic meeting. Shall we just agree it's settled? The Stone also had no intention of changing it either. It's settled. One more thing. I know you probably won't accept, and I won't force you to, but could you keep what happened here with Sasuke a secret? If it gets out that he is very dangerous, other villages may want to interfere, try to capture and kill him. The Leaf wishes to deal with Sasuke in our way. Are you kidding? If that old geezer finds out we almost died helping the Leaf Village, he would kill me. Besides, I don't want others butting in. I want to respect Naruto's wishes wishes. He wants Sasuke back, so I also want him back to leave. Tsunade smiled. You'll make a great Tsuchikage one day. Kurotsuchi smiled back. I'm alive! I'm alive! Itan screamed as he woke up. Yes, we're all alive, Kurotsuchi said. Where's the Uchiha? We don't know. I don't think I can fight anymore today. We're all out of chakra anyway. So, what do we do? Tsunade smirked. We believe in Shino. 10 years ago. Shino Aburame had started the Ninja Academy a few months ago, and he hadn't exchanged a single word with another student. He didn't know how to interact with other people. The only subject he was comfortable talking about was insects, and people hated that. He wondered what having a friend would be like. Just one would be enough. It couldn't be that hard to make a friend, right, Dad? How do I make friends? Shino asked his father before going to the academy. Introduce yourself. Tell them you want to be friends with them. But what if I'm too weird? Shino, it's difficult for us, you know. I'm not gonna lie about that. The Aburame clan is respected, but people prefer to keep their distance from us. Most people find bugs disgusting. I just don't get why. They're harmless. Yes, but most people find them disgusting to look at. Don't be discouraged though. If introducing yourself doesn't work, do something nice. People appreciate those who are helpful and do nice things. Eventually, you'll get a friend. That day, Shino conjured up resolve. He would approach academy students and try to make a friend. Just boys though. Girls were far too terrifying for him. Shino had memorized the names of all students. The first one he approached was Choji Akimichi during a lunch break. Hello, I'm Shino Aburame. Nice to meet you. The plump boy was devouring chips. Would you like to be my friend? What's your favorite food? Wild grass salad. Salad? Gross. I'll never be your friend. Do something nice. People like those who are helpful. His father's words echoed in his head. Would you like to share your food? Eat together? Some company to converse with? No! Don't get my chips! And the smell of salad makes me sick. Get out of here. Shino left. The first attempt was a clear failure, but he could surely succeed at least once. Later, he approached Kiba Inuzuka. Hello, I am Shino Aburame. Would you like to be a friend of mine? No offense, dude, but the girls find you creepy. If they see me with you, they'll find him creepy too, so no, sorry. Shino didn't know anything about girls, so he didn't even know how to do something nice for him in that regard. Another failure. He approached Shikamaru Nara next. He was sleeping on a bench in the courtyard of the academy. Shino woke him up. Hello, I'm Shino Aburame. Would you like to be friends with me? Why did you wake me up? Such a hassle. And went back to sleep. I guess doing something nice in this situation would just be to let him sleep. Another failure. Shino found Naruto Uzumaki after that. The troublemaker. He knew people hated him for being the vessel of that great devil, the Nine Tails, but Shino always found that hatred misplaced. He also had creatures living in his body, albeit definitely not as powerful. People also blamed him for the death of the fourth Hokage, but Shino's dad always told him that Naruto should be hailed as a hero. He was always alone, just like Shino. But unlike Shino, who tried to remain invisible so people wouldn't be inconvenienced by his presence, Naruto always tried to be the center of attention with his wild pranks. On that day, Naruto was fixing a bucket filled with water on top of a half-open door in one of the academy hallways. He used stacked up chairs as a ladder. That was ingenious. Naruto seemed resourceful. It was a shame he didn't put that ingenuity to good use, but maybe he could be friends with Shino. They were both lonely after all. Once Naruto came down from the chair, Shino greeted him. Hello, I'm Shino Aburame. Would you like to be my friend? Naruto winced. Get out of my way, you weirdo! They'll catch me! The door opened, and the bucket of water fell on Iruka-sensei's head. It splashed all over him. Naruto! See? It's all your fault! Get out of my way! He's gonna put me on detention until I graduate! Iruka grabbed Naruto and dragged him into another classroom. On top of pulling these stupid pranks, now you're also trying to influence a model student like Shino. You're in a world of trouble, Naruto! Naruto gave Shino a final look of anger as Iruka closed the door. Shino didn't mean to interfere with Naruto's prank, but he was at fault. Should Shino have taken the blame for Naruto? No, Iruka-sensei wouldn't know. That would be a lie. Another failure. Shino proceeded to approach every male student of his year. The same thing happened over and over. No one wanted to be his friend. He was too weird, or unpopular, or creepy, or all of them combined. He even tried some older students, but the results for those were even worse. They dismissed Shino without a second thought. The only boy his age Shino didn't try to talk to was Sasuke Uchiha. He was a top student of the class, a true prodigy. Shino came in second place in almost every test and trial they had, but he could never surpass Sasuke. Not even close. class. Shino wanted to approach him, but he was always surrounded by a swarm of girls that idolized him. There was no way he could talk to Sasuke like that. Even though it was the last chance Shino had to make a friend, that swarm of girls terrified Shino so much, so he didn't even try. But maybe he could catch Sasuke without those girls. So after school ended, he went after Sasuke. Perhaps he would get an opening, wait for the girls to disperse, but it was futile. The girls still followed Sasuke home in a pack after class. He was just too popular, a completely different reality. Someone like him would never be friends with Shino after all. He would just creep the girls out, like Kiba said. One of the girls in the crowd began to scream. She cried in desperation. It was Ino Yamanaka. The other girls around her began to scream and run in all directions as well. There's a bug in my hair! A bug! Please someone help! Sasuke rolled his eyes in utter annoyance and used that opportunity to leave without being followed. Ino continued to cry and Shino paid attention to her hair. Indeed, there was some sort of roach in it. Shino had never seen the variety, which piqued his curiosity. Ino was desperate, and even though Shino was sure the roach was harmless, his dad was right. People really hated bugs. Do something nice. People like those who are helpful. His dad's words echoed in his mind once more. Shino could take the bug off her head, but she was a girl. She was terrifying. What if she found Shino creepy? Who cares? Doing something nice meant ending her suffering in that situation. So Shino overcame his fear and quickly approached Ino, raising his finger to her hair, commanding the roach to it. The bug obeyed. It's alright, I took the bug away, Shino said, commanding the roach to enter his sleeve. Ino saw that. She began to scream even louder. You disgusting! You get bugs for lunch? What are you doing? Ah! Get away from me! The other girls also began to shout at him, saying he was creepy and weird. No, it's okay. The bug is harmless, I promise. It's not on your head anymore. The girls ran away from him, as if they were a flock of hares fleeing from a wolf. Shino lowered his head and went back home alone. Dad, being helpful didn't work. I took this bug from the hair of a scared girl and she thought it was disgusting. Shino told his dad as they ate dinner. He recalled the roach he took from Ino's hair to his finger in one of his hands as he used chopsticks with the other one. It was a big roach. It also had wings so it could probably fly. Doing nice things doesn't always pay off immediately. You have to be patient, Shino. You're a good boy. People will see that eventually. I don't think they will. Do you know what type of bug this is? His dad pointed to the roach on Shino's finger. No, I've never seen it. Not surprising. This bug is not common in city areas. It's called a pest-eater roach. You will find them mostly in the fields. Most people find these roaches absolutely appalling to look at, but they are actually the reason why we don't starve. They eat other smaller bugs that attack crops. Many years ago in the land of lightning, their feudal lord was so disgusted with them that he ordered a complete extermination. It caused a great famine and many people died. They are ugly to most people, but they are also supremely important, protecting us from pests. Shino didn't find the bug ugly at all. He found its long antennae and hairy legs fascinating. Still, even though it helps us, it's alone. Yes, actually that's the whole thing about this bug. At the end of its life cycle, pest-eater roaches migrate away from the crop fields. By not dying and not leaving their carcasses on the crop fields, they don't attract any larger scavenger predators that could damage the crops. It's almost as though they know we need their help. When they sense they're about to die, they go away, as far away as they can. That's so sad. They die alone to help us. There's a saying, a roach is at its loneliest when it knocks on the gates of death. This one you're holding probably doesn't have much time left, as it's in the village, far away from crop fields. Can we do anything to save it? No, it has already completed its life cycle. It protected us from the pests, and now it'll rest. I see. You know, Shino, people say that Aburame ninjas also die alone. Some people even think it's a type of curse. Like mom? Yes. Shino's mom died when he was 3 years old. She was a powerful jonin and died alone in a solo scouting mission in the land of water. Her body was never found. I don't want to die alone. I bet the pest eaters don't want to die alone either, but it's what they must do. Your mom died protecting the village. She died alone, but she was also a great shinobi. If we must be alone in our final moments in order to be helpful, then so be it. It is the duty of our clan. The roach slipped from Shino's finger, falling to the table. Its legs pointed upwards. It was dead. But I still don't want to die alone, and if I can help, I wouldn't want anyone anyone else to die alone either. Of course not, Shino. But sometimes it's what we must do. Anyway, I bet someone will recognize you for the good boy you are eventually. The next day in the academy was worse than usual. The girls started pointing at Shino. They didn't even bother whispering. Rather, they just screamed out loud that Shino collected bugs and that he was a disgusting weirdo. If they knew thousands of bugs literally lived inside of his body, they would drop dead from disgust. The girl that sat close to Shino in the classroom even moved 2 seats away without asking permission to the sensei. She seemed absolutely terrified of him. Perhaps Shino could make a friend after graduation, because now it seemed impossible to do so in the academy. The only problem is that according to the new policies of the Leaf Village, the minimum graduation age was 12 years old, with a few exceptions for extreme prodigies. So that meant 5 years friendless. Well, he lived 7 that way already. It wasn't the end of the world, but maybe if he trained hard enough, he would be able to graduate a bit earlier. The day passed by, and the girls kept on pointing. Everywhere he looked, somebody was staring at him in utter disgust. After classes ended, Shino decided to stay and train. He went to the shuriken stand and began tossing the throwing stars, trying to perfect his technique with the instructions Iruka-sensei gave them. He threw about 200 of them. "You're better than the others," a voice said coming from behind him. Shino turned around and saw Sasuke Uchiha. That was the very first time another student had unpromptedly spoken to him. "But you're not better than me." Sasuke chuckled and began tossing shurikens as well. He nailed almost all of them, and they had more power than Shino's. "How did you get so good at it?" "My dad taught me a bit, though I wanted my big brother to do it. He never has time anymore, but he's really good. He can hit targets behind a wall by deflecting the kunais onto each other." "That's very impressive. Do you have any tips for me?" Show me your technique again." Shino tossed another shuriken. "You should flick your wrist right when you release the shuriken. I don't know how to explain it, but that's how I do it and it works." Shino tried it. To his surprise, the shuriken flew much faster, but with less precision. "Oh, nice. You kinda got it. Now you just have to work on hitting the target with that speed." Shino began to practice using Sasuke's tip. At first glance, it seemed like such a small detail, but the difference it made was almost unbelievable. Sasuke also continued to practice next to Shino. "By the way, don't let those girls get under your skin. They're stupid, afraid of a little bug, and then when you help them out, they just freak out. I don't get it." "It's alright. I'm used to it." "It's stupid, but they'll leave you alone now." "Why?" "Because I ordered them to." "Order them?" "Yeah, for whatever reason they would do anything I say, so I just told them not to bother you with their stupidity." "Why would you help me like that? What if they don't like you anymore?" "I don't really care. If they're stupid like that, then I'm glad they don't like me." "Thanks." "Yeah. Sure." They kept on practicing. The moon was full, but they had enough light to see even after sunset. "Oh, I'm late. Menace's gonna kill me," Sasuke eventually said. "I should get going too. Do you wanna train tomorrow after class again?" "Yeah, you don't talk too much, so you're not annoying like the others. See you tomorrow." Shino went back home. That wasn't expected. He had already given up on finding a friend, but it seemed like he got lucky. Sasuke was a nice guy. "Dad, I made a friend today. We practiced throwing shurikens until late," he told his dad once he got home. Shino's dad smiled. "Really? That's great. Tell me all about it." Shino did so, and he couldn't help but to be excited to train again tomorrow with his new friend. Shino had never been happier arriving in class the next morning. But one thing was strange. Sasuke wasn't present. Maybe he got sick. The good news was that the girls left Shino alone. Sasuke's command really worked on them. The next day, Sasuke didn't go to class either. Several girls asked Iruka-sensei about him, and he told them that Sasuke was indisposed. But Shino could sense something was wrong. Iruka-sensei looked like he was holding back tears when he told them that. "Dad, did something happen to Sasuke?" Shino asked once he got home. His dad paused. He had always been unreadable, but at that specific moment, Shino noticed his father was unsettled. It took a long time to speak. "Sasuke's family, his entire clan was murdered. Sasuke was the sole survivor. Sasuke's own brother did it. I'm sorry I kept it from you, Shino, but even the Jonins are in shock." "What? How? Why?" "Nobody knows why exactly. I have to see him. I have to. He's my friend." "No, you can't see him now. There's an entire ambush squad watching over him. They won't let you get close. Not until they know Itachi won't come back for him. I also don't want you to be seen with Sasuke for now. If Itachi returns and sees you with him, he might kill you too, Shino." Shino felt awful chills. This Itachi was Sasuke's brother. The one Sasuke seemed to adore when he mentioned to Shino. How could he ever do something like that? Especially a brother. What would Shino even do if he was in Sasuke's situation? He couldn't even fathom what Sasuke was going through. Shino understood why his dad didn't didn't want him to seek Sasuke, but he couldn't leave his friend alone. He commanded a handful of his insects to scatter and track Sasuke down before he went to bed. Shino was getting good at the Aburame clan hidden jutsu, so it was time to use it. The next day, he would talk to Sasuke before the academy started. However, when Shino woke up the next morning, his insects hadn't returned. Could he have lost control? No. Shino was sure he gave them chakra regularly. They should be loyal, and his commands were precise. The only explanation was that they were destroyed. Someone knocked on the door. Shino left his room and saw his dad opening the door to a man wearing an animal mask and a cloak. An Anbu member. What is it? His dad asked. Shibi Aburame, we detected insects scouting Sasuke Uchiha's location. They are undeniably from your clan. The Anbu pulled a glass container filled with insects. Shino's insects. They're mine. I sent them to find Sasuke last night. I wanted to talk to him. He's my friend. My dad didn't know anything about it. He even told me not to do it. Please don't punish him. I see. The Anbu pulled back the lid of the glass and the insects returned to Shino. Please don't send them after Sasuke again. We had to move him overnight. You'll be able to talk to him once we determine it is safe, the Anbu said, nodding to his dad, and then he left. Sorry, Dad. I won't disobey you again. You're a good friend, Shino. I'm not upset. You followed my own advice. You tried to do something helpful and nice to your friend. But I could have gotten you in trouble. Don't worry. You'll have to train a lot more before you can slip your insects to the Anbu. I don't think I'll ever be that good. You will. You'll eventually be even stronger than your mom. It took another week for Sasuke to finally return to the academy. Shino didn't approach him right away. He observed Sasuke during the day. Girls tried to talk to him, but he shut them all down. There was something different about the Uchiha. His eyes were different, filled with hate. Shino was not surprised. Sasuke was probably overflowing with anger. After classes ended, Shino went after Sasuke on his way home. He managed to catch him alone. Sasuke, wait. Sasuke turned around and looked at Shino. His eyes were frightening. They sent a shiver down Shino's spine. I'm sorry about what happened to you. If you need anything, you can— Don't ever speak to me again. Sasuke's voice was chilling. He turned away and left. So Sasuke wanted to be alone. Probably normal considering what happened. Sasuke probably didn't mean it. Shino would wait for a while and try again. Weeks passed, but Sasuke became ever lonelier. He closed himself from the rest of the world. Shino tried to talk to him several times again, but this only prompted more cold and frightening responses, telling Shino to go away. After failing consistently, Shino stopped trying. Sasuke truly wanted to be alone, which made Shino sad. He reminded Shino of the past Eater roaches, which were destined to die alone. They chose to do so, even though they didn't have to. He felt a not connection to Sasuke because of it. They were both alone and friendless, but for two very different reasons. Sasuke could have all the friends but chose not to, while Shino couldn't have any friends, and yet he wanted to more than anything else. He thought Sasuke and him could be friends, but it just wasn't meant to be. Perhaps if tragedy hadn't struck Sasuke's family, they could have been friends. What made Shino even sadder was the fact that Sasuke chose to be alone in such a difficult time. Shino was frustrated with his own lack of ability to approach Sasuke and make him less miserable in this situation, but Shino didn't understand people very well. His father was also at a loss about what Shino could do, so he just let Sasuke be, but always hoped he would find somebody to talk to again, like that day they practiced Shuriken Jutsu. Years passed, and as Shino predicted, he never made a friend in the academy. Perhaps it was a self-fulfilling prophecy, but Shino tried at least. He just never made it. Even though he trained hard, Shino could never surpass Sasuke's grades or graduate before 12. Because he graduated in second place, Shino knew they wouldn't put him in the same team as Sasuke, the top graduate. The senseis created teams to balance out the students. Shino's teammates ended up being Kiba Inuzuka and Hinata Hyuga. With time, Shino learned Hinata was a very kind and nice person, just extremely shy. Kiba, on the other hand, was unbearable. He was arrogant and thought he was the center of the universe. Things changed during the mission to the Land of Crystals. Sasuke was elected as captain, and he even punched Kiba for being a jerk to Naruto. Moreover, Sasuke once again decided to talk to Shino, asking about what happened in the city while he was away. Sasuke even chose Shino to go with a strike team to stop the Final Stone Village landslide. It was a difficult mission, and Shino got very hurt, but in the end, they succeeded, and nobody else died. There was something different about Sasuke that Shino noticed during that mission. He seemed to be in a better mood, and had a more positive demeanor than he used to in the academy. Shino wondered if that was because of his new teammates. Naruto and Sakura actually seemed like like they became Sasuke's real friends. Shino was happy for him. He almost approached Sasuke again after the fight was over to reconnect with him, saying that Sasuke trusts him enough to include him in the strike team, but Shino chose not to. Sasuke seemed happy. Naruto and Sakura were suddenly much better people to be his friends, and they knew how to interact with people. Shino would just make things worse. If Sasuke was getting better without him and wouldn't die alone, then doing something nice meant not interfering with it. The Chunin exams were interesting. Naruto humiliated Kiba, which compounded with a beating he took from Sasuke in the Land of Crystals. That humbled Kiba, and he became a much nicer person after the preliminaries. Shino and Kiba actually became friends eventually. So Hinata and Kiba were his first friends after their brief time with Sasuke. It was different having friends, but exciting at the same time. Shino passed the finals with no difficulty and prepared to fight against all of the opponents that he could possibly face, Sasuke included. But the exam was interrupted. Orochimaru attacked the Leaf Village, and Sasuke left the arena chasing the Sand Ninjas. Shino had to follow. The three of them could be a problem if Gaara from the desert recovered. Luckily, Shino overheard a suspicious conversation between the Sand Ninjas and decided to track them just in case. Shino gave chase. He needed to help Sasuke in that situation. He wouldn't let him die alone. Sasuke wouldn't be just another past eater. Shino managed to catch up to Sasuke, but that was just because the Sand Puppet user stayed behind. Sasuke and Shino spoke again, and Shino understood that Sasuke's mission was to get to Gaara. So Shino promised to beat the puppet user and catch up to Sasuke. They had a silent understanding, mutual respect, and at that moment Shino figured they could perhaps still be friends. Unfortunately, Shino got poisoned and couldn't chase Sasuke after winning the fight. The poison would kill him, and Shino would die alone, as the Aburame clan curse dictated, just like his mom. But no, his dad actually arrived and saved him from the poison. He wouldn't die alone, not that time at least. Sasuke also thankfully survived. Naruto saved him. Naruto was indeed a more adequate friend. It would be better if Shino didn't do anything and didn't approach Sasuke again. But even if Shino wanted to, after the Chunin exams, Sasuke was rendered unconscious. Itachi had returned to the village and put him under such a powerful genjutsu, Sasuke wouldn't wake up. Shino felt worthless. Once more, there was nothing he could do, but he visited Sasuke in the hospital. "Nice of you to come by, Shino," Sakura said in the hospital room. Sasuke laid in bed, close to her. "Of course. How often do you come visit him?" "Every day. I arrive in the morning and leave at night." "I see. I'm glad." "What do you mean?" "He found friends. That way, unlike me, he won't have to die alone." "What? What are you talking about? He's not gonna die? What do you mean dying alone?" "It's just how things are. I will die alone, but Sasuke won't. I am cursed. Besides, I don't have friends that love me as deeply as you love Sasuke." Sakura's face turned bright red. Shino noticed his remark embarrassed her and excused himself, glad that Sasuke wouldn't be alone. Weeks after that, when Shino returned to the village after a mission with his dad, he received the news that Sasuke left the village and joined Orochimaru, seeking more power to kill his brother. A team of his peers tried to rescue Sasuke, and they almost died in the process, failing the mission anyways. Naruto even fought Sasuke personally but lost, and couldn't bring him back, and Shino wasn't even there to help. They couldn't even take Shino because he wasn't in the village. Why couldn't he have been in the village? Perhaps if he had been there, the mission would have been different. Perhaps Sasuke wouldn't have been taken by Orochimaru in that foul man's hands. Another failure. Shino couldn't stop failing, and Sasuke indeed seemed to be destined to die alone, just like Shino and the Aburames. But not because of a curse, rather because he wanted to. Shino just couldn't accept that. Even if that's what Sasuke wanted, Shino wouldn't allow it. He wouldn't allow any of his friends to be alone when they died. Friends. So he still thought of Sasuke as a friend, even after he left. Sasuke laid on the ground facing up. Kiba was on top of him and his claws entered his chest. They were reaching for the heart. The Black Death pain was still unbearable and his body couldn't move because of the curse mark damage. There was no alternative. He would have to give in to Orochimaru. It was the only way his revenge could ever be fulfilled. Sasuke reached into himself, searching for Orochimaru's presence.
Out of options, my dear. Don't worry, I will take good care of your body.
Sadness washed over Sasuke. He knew this was it. He wouldn't be able to avenge his clan himself. He wouldn't ever see the Leaf Village and his friends again.
Yes, Sasuke, we will accomplish everything together.
Sasuke felt Orochimaru overpowering his consciousness, but as he was about to die, a swarm of bugs flew at Kiba's hand, forcing him to remove his fingers from Sasuke's chest. The holes leaked blood, but Kiba was no longer reaching for the heart. Sasuke focused, gaining back control and forcing Orochimaru back to the depths of his awareness.
No, Sasuke! Let go! You must let go!
Kiba went in for another slash, this time to Sasuke's neck, but the cloud of insects formed a barrier around it, blocking the claws. Sasuke looked up and saw a shadow. He squinted his eyes, and the shadow took Shino's shape. Heavy raindrops hit him as he stood on a rooftop, clutching the side of his ribcage, no doubt because of the kick Sasuke's clone threw at him.
Stop, Kiba. Don't kill him.
Shino sounded exhausted. He panted but looked at Kiba with burning determination.
Do you know what he just did to me and Akamaru? His allies they almost killed us! But killing him in cold blood is not the right thing to do. It's not the answer. You're not thinking straight. He has to die. He's a bastard. He's dangerous to everyone in the village. He could have killed me and Lady Tsunade, but he chose not to. He could also have killed you, and he chose not to, Kiba. You're not a cold-hearted murderer. Remember, you even risked your life and Akamaru's long ago to bring him back to the village. Are you going to throw that sacrifice away now? He doesn't deserve everything we did for him, Shino. Kiba, please, I can't give you an order, but I can ask you as a friend not to kill him. Why? Why not? Why do you have compassion for him? Because he's also my friend.
Kiba remained still and looked at Shino in disbelief. He then looked at Sasuke with hatred, considering what he was about to do. Kiba stood up and retracted his nail claws.
Fine. Naruto and Sakura wouldn't want him dead either. It would be wrong to kill him this way.
A chain of chakra emerged from a dark alleyway nearby. Its pointy tip flew towards Kiba. Shino's small cloud of insects blocked it, and Kiba jumped up, alongside Akamaru to join Shino's side on the rooftop. The red-haired woman Kiba had killed jumped out of the alleyway and landed in front of Sasuke, who was still lying on the ground. She had chakra chains emerging from her sleeve. Her robes were slashed and stained with blood, but she had no visible wound.
I won't let you touch Sasuke! How are you still alive? I killed you! A tiny scratch like that's not gonna kill me!
Enough! No one is killing anyone! Shino interrupted the argument.
We just decided to spare Sasuke's life. But we still have to capture them, Shino. We can't just let Sasuke get away.
More chains emerged from the girl's sleeve.
I'm not gonna let you get us. Do you understand? You're not gonna interfere with our love.
Kiba rolled his eyes.
You're pathetic. We're definitely gonna capture you.
Kiba, calm down. We can solve this with diplomacy.
Fine.
You're a medic ninja, aren't you? The girl nodded. Heal Sasuke. I would like to speak to him, and he's in no condition to do that right now.
But Shino,
Kiba, please, let me handle this. The chakra chains fizzled out, and the girl put her forearm in Sasuke's mouth. He bit it, and she moaned. Chakra began to flow from the girl to Sasuke. His wounds began to close, and the curse mark damage receded, though his body was still very damaged. And the pain from the Black Death was stronger than ever.
What the hell? I've never seen a weirder healing jutsu.
Neither have I. Eventually, Sasuke rose, shaking Karin off of him when she tried to help him up. His whole body still trembled from the pain, and his expression was grim. Then speak, Shino. Was it all true, the things you said in the atrium? Yes. Well, except when I was reveling in killing all of you, because the curse mark took over my psyche in that moment. Sasuke's eyes met Shino's. There was a silent understanding. Shino wouldn't bring up Sasuke killing Jiraiya here, so as not to further rile Kiba up. So the deal you offered Lady Tsunade still stands. Sasuke narrowed his eyes. Why? I would like to make that deal.
What are you talking about, Shino?
Kiba, trust me. And how are you even gonna provide the deal, Shino? Last night, when I was scouting with my insects, I found Kato's location. I can take you to him. You can acquire the information you're seeking. We will then let you go, and you will kill Itachi. How do I know you're not lying? That this isn't a trap, like the other ones? I think we're past that point. Sasuke smiled at that. In exchange for letting you go with the intel, you will swear to never hurt any Leaf Ninja ever again. That will be a difficult promise if you keep on coming after me. But I promise myself and my team not to kill any Leaf Ninjas. Shino nodded. And once you kill Itachi, you will return to the Leaf Village and go on trial for your crimes as promised. Very well.
What? No, Sasuke, you can't do that!
Shut up, Karin. Before we part ways, I will remove the Black Death's venom, Shino said as a Black Death walked on his index finger. Huh, so you actually had a way to take the pain away then. Of course, I wouldn't sentence you to death just like that. But in exchange for that, you will let me be present when you extract Kato's intel, so that I will know if it's something that directly threatens the Leaf Village. Sasuke smirked, and Shino jumped down next to him. Karin raised her guard, but Shino ignored her and extended his hand to Sasuke. Do we have a deal then? Sasuke raised his weak, trembling hand and shook Shino's. We do. Karin, go back. But I should stay with you. Do as I say. Karin begrudgingly left. Kiba, you go back as well. I don't trust this guy. I have to go with you. No, return to the others. What I'm doing probably goes against what Lady Tsunade would want me to, and it's your call if you're gonna tell her about it. I won't hold it against you if you report me. Kiba let out a grunt, but left with Akamaru. Shall we go to Kado then? Yes, follow me. Shino jumped away and Sasuke followed him. They left Crystal City and began to head towards one of the surrounding mountains. Shino couldn't believe Sasuke could move so well while the Black Death's venom affected him. Sure, his body shook and he was extremely pale, but he wasn't screaming or paralyzed, and he was supposed to be both. When did you find out it was me? When Kurotsuchi mentioned Naruto's name, you turned your head slightly. I knew it. I got confirmation when I mentioned Sakura. Sorry about that. She isn't dead. They both care for you deeply, you know. You better kill Itachi and return to the village. Don't start the lecture. I won't. Just reminding you of the deal. An awkward silence grew as they approached the mountain. Why are you helping me anyway? Sasuke finally said, breaking the silence. I won't claim I understand you. If anyone says that, then they're lying. But I can try to imagine what it would be like to have your entire family murdered by your brother. I don't know what I would do, but the man who did that must die. And I believe you have the right to be the one to kill him. Besides, after seeing your display of power, I believe your assessment was correct. If Itachi is indeed as powerful as everyone claims, several Leaf Ninjas would die if we sent a squadron or even a battalion to go kill him. You are clearly stronger than any of us, so if you want to do it yourself, we can kill two birds with one stone, without wasting our lives. I appreciate your logic, though you'll probably be in trouble. Kato is a diplomat or something, isn't he? He'll see you with me. Aren't you worried about the repercussions of that? I'll just tell me you put me under a genjutsu if Kiba doesn't report me to Lady Tsunade. But more importantly, I'm just trying to do something nice. They arrived at the mountain, and Shino took them to a large stone wall covered in silt. He's beyond this wall. It's a genjutsu barrier. Sasuke activated his Sharingan. He had gotten some chakra back to do so after Karin's healing. The barrier fizzled out, and they saw a blonde man wearing blue armor and carrying 3 swords. He had a scar down the middle of his face and was sipping tea from a wooden cup. He was sitting in his narrow stone alcove, carved into the rock. Who the hell are you guys? I'm the one who sent you the message through the insects last night to postpone the meeting. Oh, I see. Wait, why are you here then? To tell you that the meeting has been cancelled entirely. You may return to the Snow Village shortly. What? But I don't want to. The Land of Iron is messy right now with that rebel insurrection. Frankly, I took this mission so I could cool off for a bit. And who's this other dude, by the way? He pointed to Sasuke. Where is Itachi Uchiha? What? I know you have intel on Itachi. Tell me or I'll make you. I literally have no idea of what you're talking about, dude. Sure you don't. Sasuke cast an ocular genjutsu on Kato, urging him to talk. However, once his chakra entered Kato's eyes, his pupils turned red into a 3-Tomoe Sharingan, and the Tomoe fused, forming a sinister but familiar pattern. Itachi's Mangekyo Sharingan. Crows erupted from Kato's body and they attacked Shino, shredding his body to pieces right in front of Sasuke. But Sasuke's face betrayed no reaction to Shino's death. Suddenly, Sasuke was no longer in the alcove, but in a universe of redness and swirling crows. The birds began to bite Sasuke, ripping pieces off his flesh. You've gotten stronger, Sasuke, Itachi said as his body formed from coalescing crows. That jutsu won't work on me anymore. Is that so? Yes, I know I'm under your Tsukuyomi, Sasuke said, not flinching at all while crows ripped pieces of his flesh away. The pain these things inflict on me is laughable compared to the Black Death. I could withstand this for days. I knew immediately this was Tsukuyomi once the Black Death's pain faded away. This is the only genjutsu that wouldn't break immediately because of that pain, and it seems you cannot replicate that level of pain on the target. I simply programmed Kato's eyes to cast my genjutsu upon
prevent them receiving your chakra signature. So what's your little plan? Are you gonna show me you killing my parents again? Or are you just gonna inflict more pain? Because I guarantee none of those will work. I will simply deliver you a message. Come to the southern land of fire. I will be there waiting for you so we can finally settle this for good. The real world came back to Sasuke, and with it, the excruciating pain of the Black Death. Kado passed out in the middle of the alcove and fell backwards. I got what I came here for. I take it this is when we part ways, Shino. He didn't answer Sasuke. His gaze seemed distracted. Shino? Yes, he said, almost as though he woke up from a trance. Did anything happen to you? No, I was just shocked with this ominous chakra oozing from Kado. That was the message from Itachi. I'll be able to find him with it. I see. Come here, let me take the Black Death venom off. Shino said, pulling an ant. No. What? I will accept this venom and endure it. If it kills me, then I never had a chance of killing Itachi anyway. But that's insane. No one has ever survived the 24 hours it takes to wear off. So you've told me. I will be the first one. It will be good training. How can you withstand this pain, Sasuke? This pain isn't even close to what I felt that night. I'll be fine. Sasuke paused and looked down. Tell Naruto and Tsunade that I'm sorry for Jiraiya. He then dashed away, leaving Shino behind. Eventually, he arrived at the mountain peak where he left Kiba and Akamaru with Suigetsu and Jugo. Karin was hiding behind a rock close to the alcove as Jugo pummeled Suigetsu, screaming that he would kill him. Suigetsu seemed dazed as his body kept on exploding into water. Calm down, Jugo, Sasuke said, looking at him, and his curse mark patterns receded. I'm sorry, but this time it wasn't my fault. It was Suigetsu's. He was taunting the prisoner, and I lost control because of it. You're an idiot bastard, Suigetsu, Karin said, coming out of hiding. Oh, come on, Jugo, you didn't have to rat me out. Besides, you punched me for like 5 hours. That wasn't even half an hour. This doesn't matter. We're leaving at once. Karin, I will require constant healing during our travel. The curse mark took a toll on my body. Of course, Sasuke. So you got Kado's intel, I suppose? Yes. Itachi will be in the southern land of fire. There, we will have our final battle. We must move there at once so the leaf doesn't have a chance to track us. Sasuke tossed the executioner's blade scroll at Suigetsu, returning the sword. Suigetsu beamed at it. Are you alright, Sasuke? You look pale, and you're shaking. Yes, I'm fine. Let's go. Shino found the Leaf and Stone teams together in Crystal City. They were speaking to officials from the Land of Crystals, warning that there may be a dangerous shinobi around. Though he noticed they didn't mention Sasuke's name. It took a while for Shino to say anything. He was shocked after what he saw in the alcove. Lady Tsunade, he is gone. No one was hurt, and Crystal City is in no danger. See? I told you Shino would solve the problem, Tsunade told Kurotsuchi. Do you know where he went, Shino? Kiba can't track him because of the rain, Tsunade asked. So Kiba hadn't said a word about what happened. He was a loyal and trusting friend after all. He fled the city. I chased after him until he eventually reached Kado's location, the man he was looking for. There, he put me under a genjutsu and extracted Kado's intel. After that, he left the city entirely. I see. I'm just glad no civilians were hurt. Tsunade was still weak, but Shino had to speak to her in private. He took her under his arm and ushered her back to her inn room, asking the others to stay back and take care of the formalities with the crystal officials. Now Shino and Tsunade were alone. Lady Tsunade, Kado himself didn't have any intel, but he carried a genjutsu from Itachi. A genjutsu that affected both Sasuke and myself. But I believe Sasuke doesn't know that I also got a message, and I believe it was a different message from the one he got. 15 minutes earlier. Shino stood next to Sasuke Uchiha as he questioned Kado about Itachi. To Shino, it really looked like Kado was clueless, not lying about him not having any intel on Itachi. So Sasuke cast a genjutsu on him. Kado's eyes immediately changed to a weird-looking Sharingan. Kado leaped from his sitting position with blinding speed and decapitated Sasuke. Before Sasuke's head even flew away, he had already reached Shino and impaled his heart with his sword. The pain was horrific, and Shino was dying. Sasuke, on the other hand, was truly dead. But how could this happen? Why was Kado so aggressive? You are an Aburame, aren't you? Kado said with a cold voice. It was genjutsu. It had to be. Kado was too fast. Sasuke and Shino weren't even able to perceive his movements. If Kado was truly this powerful, then he would be a famous ninja, just like the Yellow Flash. But if Shino was under a genjutsu, his bugs would break him out of it immediately. However, Shino remembered Kakashi's intel on Itachi. He could cast a genjutsu that altered
alter the target's perception of time. The genjutsu would last for a mere instant in the real world, but for the target, it would feel like days. The same genjutsu he cast on Sasuke, which rendered him unconscious for weeks. You are Itachi Uchiha, aren't you? Shino spat blood, feeling the cold steel still piercing his heart. Kado smirked, and his appearance changed to Itachi's. I will fight Sasuke in the southern region of the Land of Fire. Shino was bewildered. Why was Itachi telling him that? I have unraveled the secrets about the power of the Uchiha clan. Once I kill Sasuke there, I will become more powerful than Madara Uchiha. I will get a power so formidable, no creature on this planet will stand against me. The scenery changed around Shino. He was in the Leaf Village. It burned and was completely destroyed. Mountains of corpses surrounded him. He saw his dad, Kiba, Hinata, Kurenai-sensei, Lady Tsunade, and everyone he knew from the Leaf Village, dead, staring at him with brightless eyes. With that power, I will destroy the Leaf Village and the Land of Fire, and then I will wipe out every single living being there. Stop me if you dare, Leaf Ninja. Send the strongest ones you have against me. Give me a good fight, Itachi said, sitting at the peak of the tallest mountain of corpses, right on top of Sasuke's corpse. Why would you warn me about that? Why would you want us to be prepared? To measure my capacity. The world turned back to normal, but Shino was shocked. He didn't even realize Sasuke was talking to him. Shino decided not to tell Sasuke about what he saw. They had already agreed to a deal, and Shino wouldn't go back on his word, but he would inform Lady Tsunade about Itachi's threat. The Hokage didn't seem shocked after Shino told her about what happened in Itachi's genjutsu world. He's an insane psychopath. It's not surprising that he would want us to go after him with all of our strength and then revel in killing us. It could be a trap, Lady Tsunade. Perhaps. Then again, we won't let Itachi roam free in the Land of Fire. I'll make sure to send our best ninjas after him. If he thinks he can steamroll our entire village with some bullcrap new power of his, then he truly underestimates us. Shino nodded. Sasuke, before he left, he told me to tell you that he was sorry about Lord Jiraiya. Tsunade scowled. Jiraiya is not dead. I refuse to believe he would be killed by a brat like that. We'll rest here for a day until I recover my strength, and then we'll dash back to the Leaf Village and find Itachi Uchiha. Watch part 39 of the rewrite right here. Let me know in the comments below what you thought about this episode, and please like the video so we can reach the like goal. Don't forget to also subscribe and ring the notification bell so you always know when the rewrites come out. Seriously, it really helps me with the algorithm too, so please do. And thank you so much for watching.